Hey y'all, what's up? It's Amanda and I'm back with another video. So today's video is going to be my July TBR. So I guess we'll just get right on into it. I don't have anything else to say. First, we're of course going to start off with my TBR jar. I normally pick from this at the beginning of every TBR video, unless I forget. Then it'll happen at the end of the video. We are going to pick this one. This one is interesting. Why is this in here? This is Manhunt by Gretchen Felker Martin. I don't know if you can even read that, but I don't own this one. So I'm like, why is this in here? I guess I'll just have to get it from the library, but that is one book that I actually tried reading this when it first came out like 2 years ago. I was enjoying it. It was just going very slowly for me. So I DNF'd it. I soft DNF'd it and I was like, I'll come back to this with an audiobook. And I guess now is the time that I'm going to be reading this with the audiobook. So I have to find where I can get the audiobook as well as the physical book, because I'm reinstating my book buying ban starting July 1st because I have been, side note, I have been really lacking on my book buying ban. I've been buying books. As you'll see, one of the next videos that I'm posting is a book haul. So I am reinstating my book buying ban starting July 1st until like the end of the year. Hopefully the second half of the year goes better than the first half of the year. And it's good because like if people want to buy me books as a gift, then I won't have beat them to it. You know what I mean? So anyways, back to Manhunt. I'm excited about this one. I was really enjoying that book. I just had to return it back to the library if I'm being honest. So yeah, this is our first TBR pick. Next, I want to talk to you guys about my June TBR jar pick, which is When in French, Love in a Second Language by Lauren Collins. This book got picked, and did I read it in June? No, because it is currently July 5th, and here's the little slip. And I'm only this far into it. I'm only like 20% of the way into it. So, and I only picked it up yesterday. It's good so far. I'm enjoying it. This is a memoir from Lauren Collins, obviously, but she's talking about how she met her husband in English. Her husband is a Frenchman, and English is not his first language, French is, and just how she eventually moves to, I think it is Switzerland, and in Switzerland they have several different languages as their official language, and one of them being French. So she talks about her struggles with navigating that language barrier as well as like finding love through this language barrier. So far it's actually keeping my attention. I was listening to this while baking, but I do have to say I'm only on chapter 3 and we're 67 pages in. So I'm like, girl, why are your chapters so freaking long? Her first chapter was 30 pages long, and then the second chapter, obviously, 37 pages long. So I'm like, okay. I'm glad I have the audiobook for this. I have it out from the library. That's also another reason why I'm reading it now, because the library audiobook didn't come in until like July 2nd. So we are just going with it. I'm reading this book in July. I'm getting it off my TBR. And that's the point of the TBR jar, so who cares? Next, I'm going to be talking about the books that I want to read for Summerween. So if you don't know what Summerween is, Gabby Reads here on YouTube hosts a little readathon, reading challenge, whatever you want to call it, from July 5th. Well, she hosts it multiple times a year, and this year for Summerween, it is happening July 5th to July 9th. Today is currently July 5th, so by the time you're seeing this, I will have started one of these 2 books, okay? Because for Summerween. But there are certain prompts that you need to fulfill for Summerween, so I'm going to pull up the prompts on my phone and I'm going to let you know which prompts I'm planning on fulfilling with these 2 books. Yes, I'm doubling up on prompts because I don't have the time to be reading 1 book for each prompt. You feel me? There's 5 prompts. I don't have time to be reading 5 books in 5 days. I simply do not. So the first prompt is read a book in the dark. That one, you can just choose any book, read it in the dark. I might read a graphic novel in the dark, but I haven't decided yet, so that's why it's not, I'm not going to show you a graphic novel on my TBR. Next is read a thriller book or horror book. For this one, I have The Year of the Witching by Alexis Henderson. To my knowledge, this is like a fantasy horror book. Also with a splash of historical fiction in there. This one might be a stretch, okay? This one might be a stretch, but we're still going with it. Next is read a book with a night sky on the cover. This one I am choosing Part of Your World by Abby Jimenez. This is a romance, okay? Because I don't have any other books with a night sky on the cover, okay? So we're just ignoring the fact that this is not like a horror book. And this is a romance, okay? Anyways. The next prompt is read a book with 5 words in the title. So we are going back to The Year of the Witching because this has 5 words in the title. The Year of the Witching, okay? Okay, thank you so much. And the last prompt is read a book that takes place in the summer. Now this one, I'm just kind of hoping that Part of Your World takes place in the summer. I haven't even read the synopsis yet. But yeah, I don't know. We're hoping. And then if not, I'll just have to pick another book for the reading a book that takes place in the summer. And so those are the 5 prompts. And those are the books that I plan on reading for Summerween. I will be vlogging my time in Summerween starting today, July 5th. So you'll be getting my in-depth thoughts about these 2 books, maybe a 3rd book as well, because I can't guarantee that I'm not going to pick up a graphic novel. But yeah, I'm very excited. As you can see, I already have bookmarks in them. I just like matching my bookmarks to my book. So that's what I did in preparation of reading these books next. So the next couple books are books that I absolutely have to read because I have the audiobook out on Libby. Okay? And they're due in the next 2 weeks. Okay? All my audiobooks came in at the same time and I chose to take on the challenge of reading all my books. Okay? Alright, y'all. So these are all of the library books, or how do I put this? These are all of the books that I have in my possession that I got the audiobooks for them through the library. And all of my audiobook loans came in at the same time. So these few books are all due within the same couple days. I hope that makes sense. These are all due within the next 2 weeks, but they're spaced a day apart from each other, if that makes sense. So I have 4 books that are due within 4 days of each other. Anyways, first we have a very short book. So I'm hoping that I can fly through this one very quickly. This is Death Valley by Melissa Broder. I read Milk Fed by Melissa Broder earlier this year and I absolutely devoured it. It was so good. So I'm hoping that the same thing happens with Death Valley. I don't know much about this one. I just know that the main character is grieving the loss of her dad, or her dad is very sick. So she's grieving for him, even though she hasn't lost him yet. Something like that. There's grief involved. And a cactus. If you couldn't tell, there's a cactus on the cover. Anyways, I'm very excited about this one. And yeah, Melissa Broder is quickly becoming one of my new favorite authors. Next, we have a book that this one is a library book, okay? This is Big Swiss by Jen Began. This one I'm very intrigued by Everybody who's read this says that the synopsis is basically like the main character is starting over in this new job of being a transcriber for a sex therapist, and then she eventually falls for like one of the clients of the sex therapist that she is transcribing like her therapy sessions for. And so she eventually like goes and meets this person and like integrates herself into their life or something like that. And it's just like a weird book for weird girls. And I'm very intrigued. This one, like I said again, my audiobook came in. This is one of the more recent ones. So I have a little more time with this one, but still I only have 2 weeks to read this one. So I'm a little stressed. Next is a book that I am absolutely so excited for. I don't know if anybody else has noticed this, but there's been like a trend of using paintings as book covers. Like, not like somebody designs a whole new painting to be the book cover. I mean, like, they take an existing painting that has been in the art world and use it as the book cover, okay? The Big Swiss, that is a painting as a book cover. This next one, painting as a book cover, okay? This is Piglet by Lottie Hazel. I don't know how you pronounce her name. But I don't know anything about this book. I just know that people have been hyping it up. And I need to know what is going on with this. This is another weird girl fiction book. And my audiobook came in today. So I need to read this. This is on my July TBR. I need to read this. And lastly, for the audiobooks that have come in from my library, this one I'm very excited about. I love this author so much, and reading this book will solidify them as a favorite author for me, as long as I love it. Okay? This is Little Rot by Koike Emezi. This cover, stunning. Okay? Stunning. I love the lime green mixed with the bright orange and all these colors. Stunning. This one, I have absolutely no idea what it's about. I know it's like a thriller kind of. So I could use this for the Summerween reading challenge. I could use this. So I might add this to my Summerween TBR. We shall see what happens. If you watch that vlog that I'm going to post at the end of Summerween, you'll know which books I ended up reading. Okay? And lastly, I have 2 more books that are my hopefuls. Okay? I hope to get to them. But if I don't, that's okay. The first one is They Never Learn by Lane Fargo. This one is a book that I've had on my TBR forever. I have a bookmark in it. Okay? That means that I wanted to start it very immediately when I decided to pick it up. You know what I mean? So, have I picked it up though? No. I have not read a single word from this book. This book, I vaguely remember what the synopsis is. So we have a professor at a university who has been killing men, like bad men, and getting away with it. But then in this book, we're following the professor's POV as well as a student's POV. And things start happening to where the professor needs to like cover up her tracks better or something like that. Somebody's onto her, essentially. And that is all I know about this. I heard it's one of those like really thrilling books. This is another thriller. Could count for my Summerween, but I don't think I will make it count for Summerween. I have my set TBR already. I'm going to stick to it. And lastly, we have a very interesting book. Okay, this is going along the theme of like beauty horror that I've been seeing on, honestly, like Instagram and on YouTube. This book is called The Glow by Jessie Gaynor. I don't know if this is specifically a horror book. It could just be like beauty literary fiction commentary. I don't know anything about it. But let's read the inside little blurb. It says a desperate young publicist tries to save her career by turning the charismatic leader of a grungy retreat center into the hot new self-care brand in this wildly funny, laser-eyed debut novel. So, yeah, I don't know if it's like a thriller necessarily, or if it's just like, if it's even a horror book, but it has to do with the beauty industry, and I'm very intrigued by it. Alright, y'all, so here's my TBR, along with the one book that I pulled from my TBR jar that I don't physically have. We'll just put it up there. This is a heavy stack, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not sure I can read all of these in 1 month, but we'll see. They Never Learn is probably going to be the one that I don't read. The Glow, I probably will read because it's a library book. If I don't, then, oh well, I'll just return it, sadly. But anyways, I'm going to put this down now. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe to my channel if you aren't already. I try to post 1 video a week. I have a bunch of videos like in the works, slash videos that I have to edit still. Keep an eye out for those if you are so inclined. I would really appreciate it. If you made it to the end of this video, comment the raindrop emoji. I'll have it up here. Because multiple books in this stack had somebody on the cover with like a raindrop. I mean a teardrop. Sorry, I said raindrop emoji, but it's like the teardrop that I'm talking about. So yeah, comment the raindrop emoji because there were multiple people crying on the book covers of these books. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.